Good evening. We welcome you all tonight. Call to order the regular meeting of West Valley City Council. Pursuant to Utah Code, West Valley City has determined that this meeting will be held electronically without an anchor location, given the ongoing novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. West Valley City has determined the pandemic presents a substantial risk to the health and safety of those who may be present at an anchor location. This meeting is being held electronically. Members of the public may view this meeting live on YouTube at www.youtube.com/user/WVCTV. The public is allowed to participate in our public comment period by contacting our office and receiving the appropriate codes to participate in the meeting. And we note that we have all council members present in our meeting. And with that, I think we have an Inside the City video that we're going to show at this point for our opening ceremony.
You're almost there. Keep going.
You got this.
Try to make it.
Hi everybody, Bob Fitzgerald, West Valley City Fire Department. We have just wrapping up week 8 of our recruit camp, and it's been an interesting week watching these recruits go through the testing process with the state of Utah to become certified firefighters here in the state. They've worked really hard, and a lot of anxiety that they've worked through and successfully got through that testing process. So now we're ready for graduation, and these guys have done an awesome job preparing themselves for working as firefighters on the floor.
My name is Anthony Harper, and I'm with West Valley Fire Department. We're on the final week, week 8, and we're excited. And yeah, this week was all about testing and just wrapping up. It went very well, very well. Everyone did well. The skills People were more worried about the written test for good reason. It was tougher than we expected, but in general, skills went very well. Camp was fun. It was intense, but made some great friendships, probably lifetime friendships, and it was very physically challenging. And everyone's been working really hard, and we work well together, and staff has been great. Even the instructors we've made some pretty good friendships with, so guys we'll be working with. I've grown a lot, I think. Learned a lot about myself, especially regarding the physical challenges, and just, it's all kind of a mental game for the most part. And yeah, you just kind of learn how to control your brain, control your mind, calm yourself down, especially when you have an SCBA on in the middle of a fire or a confined space. And yeah, just interpersonal interactions and, you know, station life, you had to learn quick. I wanted to be a firefighter for quite a long time. My father's a police captain. I have some cousins that are policemen, others that are firemen, and I always planned on it. It's just life got in the way, and I worked in the tech field before this, and I was just dying to become a fireman. The way they interact with the community and helping people in your community that you live in, and fire's a lot more exciting than anything I can think of. So.
And we have 4 individuals from West Valley City, 4 from South Jordan, and 1 from Murray. And all are going to add value to each of their individual departments. It's been an interesting journey watching these 9 individuals work and become a team. And that's what firefighting is. It's a team effort, and it's pretty gratifying as an instructor to see these individuals work very hard at developing their skills and letting their personalities mix with the other members of the class and watching them grow as individuals. But like I mentioned, the important thing is that they're now a team. And even though these team members will go to different departments, that relationship that they have built here in this class will go on throughout their careers. And as you know, we're glad you've been able to keep track of these 9 recruits as they have progressed. We're grateful that you've been able to watch this and you've shared these videos with others. As you go forward, if you know somebody that would like to be a firefighter, there are more and more opportunities coming all the time. Fire departments are growing, and there's old guys like me who will soon be retiring that need to be replaced. So if you know someone that would like to become a firefighter, have them reach out to their local fire departments and find out what the requirements are for the individual departments, and have them start working toward that goal, because the fire service needs dedicated and good people to make the fire service future brighter.
From the first week, you know, it was rough getting adjusted to putting your gear on, the drills, stuff like that.
This is really physical challenging. I've never done anything quite like this before.
I love firefighting because I love that we work as a team. I love that it's like a family atmosphere.
This has been an awesome experience.
I'm looking forward to getting on shift.
It's been a wild ride. I am beyond excited.
The cadre here with West Valley has been absolutely impeccable. They've shown us a lot of leadership. They've given us a lot to digest.
I wouldn't be doing anything other than this, to be honest.
Thank you. Next on our agenda are the approval of the minutes of November 17th. A motion or comments if needed.
Move for approval of those minutes.
Second.
That sounds good. Now, then, without objection, the minutes will be approved. Hearing no objection, the minutes are approved unanimously. Thank you. Next, we have our comment period. And we'll see how many are on. We have some who come regularly and some maybe others. We hope there's always a lot, but there usually aren't. So Nicole, how many do we have online?
We have one person for the general public comment period, and then we do have one person that signed up for one of the public hearings.
All right. So let's bring
it's Jim Bisock.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor. I'll keep it short and sweet tonight. I just want to wish everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Stay safe, stay strong out there. Once again, have a happy Thanksgiving. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. So no one else, then we'll bring that back and see if our city manager has any comments. Okay, keep working at it. You'll get sound.
I don't know what the problem was there. My finger was too cold or something. I don't have any comments tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
To the council then, any comments? I think I would just say, since this is as good a place as any, on behalf of the city, both the administration and the council, we wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday. Travel safe, be safe, stay healthy, and enjoy good food and good time with family. All right. With that then, we will turn to our first public hearing. This public hearing is application ZT-7 2020, filed by the city requesting a zone text change to create the Chesterfield overlay zone. And let's see. The Chesterfield overlay zone is an attempt to preserve the unique environment of the Chesterfield area. Several changes were proposed with this, such things as homes being oriented to the street. Home sizes were adjusted slightly to be more standard. And then as well for changes in the allowed materials in order to stay with the traditional design of the area and not requiring 25% to be brick or stone, going to all new homes being 2-car garages. And if garages, if they don't meet the minimum width, they can have detached or attached or side loaded on that don't meet the width. And then we made formal that curb and gutter and sidewalk was not required except on certain streets that are required for the schools and etc. And that's the main items. Now, I'm looking at, I think, the original proposal. Did we have 3 changes in there?
I believe like no subdivided lots too. Is that in there too?
Sir, the third document in the list displays the changes that the council suggested last
Okay,
week.
let me, recorded? Nope. That's the wrong one. Proposed ordinance, there we go. And scrolling down through here, it must be the highlighted. Yes, the other three items were that we did not want homes to be all the same. So in subdivisions of 2 or more lots, the minimum area for homes may be reduced by 200 square feet if the average size of all homes within the subdivision is equal to or greater than the minimum size. Exterior materials will be brick, stone, fiber cement, siding, or stucco. We added stucco to that. And the other one about same housing, same style housing next to each other. A single unit dwelling located on the same side of the street as other single unit dwellings shall vary from the nearest 3 single unit dwellings in both directions. And then we go through and which those items are. So now, did I get everything there?
Sounds like they were all covered, Mayor.
Okay, then with that introduction, then we will open the public hearing on this. With that, the public hearing, Nicole, do we have anyone online? Is this the one that was going to speak about this?
Yes, yes, sir. We have Chris Young here. Chris, you should be able to unmute your microphone now.
Does it look like Chris is there, or?
I do show that he is there and his microphone is unmuted. I'm not sure.
Unmuted.
Oh, was that him?
But my internet connection's unstable.
Yes, even your sound is intermittent.
Is this when I'm supposed to cuss? This is about zoning in my area. They're
There we
talking
go.
about changing up the game. Changing my game up.
Are you ready to speak? Hello?
Nicole, are you in contact with him? Could you have him just call in by phone into the Zoom meeting?
I will see if I can send him a quick email or give him a phone call. Let me just go and try to do that one second.
Okay. We're going to just delay just for a moment because I would like to hear what this person has to say. And if that doesn't work, we'll ask him to email us and we'll share that with the council, whatever comments he wants to make. Even if we have to come back to that on our agenda.
Mayor, I have Chris Young on the phone. I'm going to put him on speaker if that's okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, Chris, you can go ahead and speak.
Greetings, gentlemen and gentle lady at the bottom of my screen. How are you guys doing?
We're fine. You just go ahead and speak. Take your time.
Okay. Again, I'm a little rusty on what's going on in my community. I've been here 15 years. I understand that some of the big guys want to come in and change some things, and you know, certain areas in Chesterfield, at least. You know, I don't think it would be too bad of a deal if you know, some things were revamped and some multifamilies happened in certain areas. But as far as my area, and I'm on Derby Street, you know, I don't agree with bulldozing the place and creating a, you know, multifamily mecca, and the third party equity groups come in and, you know, create a lot of apartments, etc. As far as spec housing, if a developer was able to buy 10 houses and create a, what might be called, like where I came from, Scottsdale, Arizona, where Del Webb, you know, created these mass communities where, you know, you drive to the wrong house, walk into the wrong house, and go, oops, I'm not in the right house. That's why we're in Utah, because it's unique, it's different. This area obviously is why I came down from Park City years ago. This was my camas in the valley. I would love to think that things don't have to change here, but if I get this straight, we would end up having or contractors, developers would have the ability to come in and buy 10 houses, and in that area create a mini development where all 15 new houses would look the same. Am I missing something?
Yes, you're missing something. We specifically prohibit that. So one house cannot be the same as the three houses on either side of it. They have to be different. And there are requirements that specify building materials, the way it's designed, etc., have to be different so that there will still be variety. Did that clarify that?
So from the ordinance, the way it says, from zone R16 to A without Chesterfield overlay zone, going to R16A with Chesterfield overlay zone, you're saying that the city ordinances and the county ordinance, or no, city ordinance, allows and continues and supports differentiation.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And it doesn't just allow it,
that.
it requires it. Okay.
Got it. Since I'm on with guys that know, the irony in this morning's conversation is my wife wanted me to figure out my setbacks, and she wanted to find out if I could make a guest house in the back. And I was told no when I called the city, you know, the planning commission. And I talked to somebody else later, finding that I could have a mother-in-law house in the back. Is that true?
Okay, let's see. Let's make sure that we have the right information and have who? Steve Pastorick or someone? Clarify that.
Yes, yes, Mayor. So you have within Chesterfield, you have two different zones currently. So you have the R16 zone that's closest to Redwood Road, and then you have closer to the river, you have agricultural zoning. Neither of those zones allows for a guest house.
Good night.
So either way, zero, no. So the guy I talked to in planning today, he's right. No, the only dwelling on our property there's only one living dwelling on anyone's property in Chesterfield.
That's correct.
Got it. So again, I had some listening issues during this Zoom meeting, and I was having trouble hearing what you guys were all saying. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your concern. Thank you for what you do. I think my questions have been answered.
Well, thank you. Thank you for participating in our meeting tonight. We're glad you were able to call in and we were able to hear you.
Awesome. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you. Nicole, there isn't anyone else, is that correct?
No, sir. That was the only person.
With that, then, we will close the public hearing portion of this discussion and bring it back for the council to consider action on ordinance 20-47.
Move for approval of ordinance 20-47.
Do we need to clarify the amended or the original?
To be clear, yes, that it is the amended. Is that correct, Mr. Bueller?
That is the motion. That is the motion, Mayor.
Okay, I will second that.
That is properly before us. Any further comments? Hearing none, we will go to our city recorder for the vote, the roll call vote on this ordinance.
Councilman Fatisamanu?
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Hune?
Aye.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Let's see, next we have application Z-8 2020 filed by the city requesting a zone change on property that's more or less between 2420 South and 2920 South and between 1680 West and the Jordan River. This will add it to the Chesterfield overlay zone. We need to approve that. Did I get the right item here? I didn't. My computer didn't change. I got to be more deft with my fingers. This area has approximately 493 parcels. They're all R16 or agricultural. And if they're agricultural, if the overlay zone is adopted, they still have their animal rights. And it applies to all new homes and additions to existing homes. Doesn't change allowed uses, setbacks, or density regulations. I think that's probably enough introduction. With that, officially, I will open a public hearing on this application. And just to confirm, with our city recorder. There's no one from the public to speak to this. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir. There's no one else.
Okay. That being the case, I will close the public hearing portion. We'll bring it back to the council for consideration of ordinance 20-48.
Mayor, I'd move
Move
for
for-
approval of ordinance 20-48.
Second.
Okay, properly for us. Any further comments or hearing none? We'll go to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Fatisa Manu,
Aye.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you. Next, we go to our ordinance 20-49 to amend our code for certain stormwater utility fees. This particular change would take our fee schedule and change it for the general residential unit from $4 to $6. That is a 50% increase. But we're also modifying an equivalent residential unit to be from 2,830 square feet to 3,163 square feet, so that those that have large units and whatever everyone will end up paying their proportionate share. This increase in fees will raise, I believe, approximately $1.5 million. And we have had a budget of $1 million annually, and we have $58 million in uncompleted projects through 2050. So if we adopt this current schedule, I think he said it dropped it to 2034, 2044. So the fee has not been changed for 15 years. It puts us more on par with other cities in the valley. Oh yeah, there it is, 2043, excuse me. And that will give us funds, but it will take until 2043 to complete all the projects, unless we were to increase it again in the future, which may be necessary depending on how fast costs rise. With that introduction then to the council.
Mayor, I'd like to add to your comments, which were all truthful and appropriate. Now these funds are restricted in their use, and for the projects that we can accomplish with stormwater utility fees, we typically only use stormwater utility fees. So this is an important budget for us. And since these fees have not been adjusted, I mean, the last time they were adjusted 15 years ago, most of us were children. And it's probably time that we take a step like this.
Okay. The other thing to recognize is that storm water fees are a required item. And it's not, when you say required, it's actually tied to federal and state law that these funds must be used directly for stormwater projects and anything that relates to gathering that. In other words, we could not use it for the police department, for the legal department, or anything like that. It's just not allowed. So anyway, anything else?
Is the floor open for a motion, or are you asking for more discussion?
I asked for more discussion. There wasn't any. So I guess, unless you want to make a motion, we're done.
Sure. I'll move to approve ordinance 20-49.
Second.
How about that? The motion's before us. And hearing no further comments, to our city recorder.
Councilman Batista Manu?
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Hune?
Aye.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you. Next, we have resolution 20-177. This is to approve the purchase of a variable speed water pump station for the Stonebridge Golf Course. The one they have is old. It's becoming more and more difficult to even find replacement parts so that they can keep it running. If at this point, and it is very possible, it were to fail, the amount of money we're proposing to spend on this would not be as much as the revenue we would lose, because we would be unable to keep the golf course functioning and the greens green. For some reason, golfers don't like to play on dirt. They call them traps. Well, it can be sand in a trap too. So these funds will come from our general fund balance, which some may consider under the term rainy day fund. These are funds set aside when we need to, we don't have funds available and need to dip into that, and not for operations, but for essentially required emergency purchases like this. That is the introduction to it. Oh, by the way, I guess I didn't say the amount, $274,635. Okay. With that, council.
I move forward for approval, resolution 20-177.
Second.
And a second. Okay, it's properly for us. Hearing no further comments, to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Nordfelt?
Yes.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Hune?
Aye.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Batista Manu?
Aye.
And Mayor Bigelow?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next, we have resolution 178. To authorize the city to accept a storm drain easement and release a storm water drainage easement. Over in Condi Properties, the Phil's Farm subdivision, we've had a drainage easement there, which is more like an irrigation ditch. But with that, those new homes being built there, we're connecting all of that to the regular city stormwater system. And so we have the stormwater easement that, and we have to record that because it actually goes under a private driveway. So we have that to be able to continue to take care of the stormwater runoff. That's all it is to the council.
Move for approval of resolution 20-178.
Second.
Then, hearing no further comments, to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We have no need for a closed session, and there's actually not even any special meetings after this one. However, we will be starting, and I believe it's as soon as next week, with some department proposals for our annual strategic planning meeting. So they'll make a presentation about their department, what's going on, and so forth. So we'll be starting into that process. We encourage the public to listen in, become familiar with that. But I know that we as council members will be considering items to take up, change, discuss, modify, reduce, or whatever might be possible at that strategic plan meeting, and kind of set the vision and tone for where the city will be going. We do
I
this
think those
annually.
reports will be in study meeting, won't they, Mayor? Will those reports be in study meeting?
Yes, they will.
Okay. Just to clarify for the public that they won't be
That's
in the
right.
regular meeting.
And as a matter of fact, based upon that, next week, we will have study meeting, but there will be no regular council meeting. So Don, thank you for pointing that out. We will have that study meeting. We typically do not have public comment in that meeting. That's just for our studying. And so our next regular city council meeting, where we might take any action, will be in 2 weeks. But I encourage the council to put your strategic thinking caps on and decide what you want to bring up. And I'm personally, I'm not looking at things for the next few months, but I am thinking about where I would like to see the city be in 30 years. Since this next year will be my last one on the council, so unless Councilman Bueller twists my arm or something, but no, he is don't call me. I'll call you if I'm ever ready, and I won't be. In fact, that reminds me, we probably ought to make the public aware that I will not be running for re-election. And I don't know, is that an appropriate thing to do through city channels? And I think that would be true to announce that people can register to run, at the normal time next year. I just don't want anyone to feel like they got surprised or they didn't know, or I'm sure there's a few out there that are very sure that if it's an open seat, they'll for sure win. I don't know.
Mayor, you're very kind, Mayor. We had a council person before, and they didn't let public know until the last minute. So you're very kind to do that.
Well, I try to tell people that they should never, if they have a desire to run, they should register. It's only, I think it's still $25, right? I mean, if you can't afford $25, you probably shouldn't be running, but I would encourage many to run, anyone interested. So, and by the way, Oh,
The date to sign up for any of our municipal elections is probably April.
yes, that's correct.
It's actually June 1st through June 7th.
June. So everybody's got plenty of notice now.
I
to
think
go to their neighbors and raise $25.
yeah, I think Steve Bill is so excited. He want to get it as he
I wanted to go in April.
All right. Well, thank you all. Again, we remind you to be safe, to wear masks whenever in public, and even for Thanksgiving dinner, if you're coming from outside the home, that's encouraged but not required. And to social distance and to wash your hands frequently. We note that it hopefully appears to be working. There was a slight reduction in the number of cases, but we'll see hospitalizations and deaths probably continue to rise for a while. So with that, thank you all for participating, especially those from the public, and have a good evening.
Motion to adjourn.
All without objection, we will stand adjourned. Hearing no objection, it was unanimous. Happy Thanksgiving to you all and enjoy the holiday.
Thank you. The same to you.